Hey, this is Sreehari from Mr. Phone, and I'm just back from the OnePlus 7 series launch. Now, with the OnePlus 7 Pro, we know each and everything that there is to know about that phone thanks to the Mr. Phone review, which is super detailed. And if you haven't seen that, then I feel really sorry for you. Well, don't worry because you can watch that video. So there is a link in the description and a card up here. So please go and watch the OnePlus 7 Pro full review. But here, we are here to talk about the OnePlus 7, a phone that almost nobody thought would make any sense. But suddenly, as soon as Carl Pei announced the price for that phone here in India, everyone went crazy. So hey, this is Sreehari from Mr. Phone again, and let's do a quick look at the OnePlus 7. Now, like me, if you also are in love with the red hot color of the OnePlus 7, then click that red subscribe button and let us know, and hit the bell icon right next to it so that you get notified when we put out detailed videos about this phone and other phones that you want to know about. Now, there are a ton of things to talk about the OnePlus 7. That said, I'm only going to talk about the few things that make it one of the most value for money phones right now here in India. Now, when it comes to design and display, it's pretty much the same when compared to the OnePlus 60. It's almost the same device. You won't be able to tell the difference because the fingerprint scanner is at the front, the back is glass, there's no fingerprint scanner at the back. It's all pretty much the same apart from the new colors. You have a red and a mirror gray color. So those are the two colors that you get with the OnePlus 7. Those that differentiated from the OnePlus 60. But the real killer here is the Snapdragon 855. Now, the Snapdragon 855 is an upgrade over the Snapdragon 845 that we saw in the OnePlus 60 and is a beast of a chipset. Right now, the benchmark scores are through the roof for the Snapdragon 855, and even with the OnePlus 7 Pro, the reason that that phone is this snappy and works this smooth is that Snapdragon 855, and what do you know? You get that inside the OnePlus 7. So when comparing to the OnePlus 7 Pro, you are not compromising on the processor, which just so happens to be one of the most important parts of a smartphone. So you have the Snapdragon 855, and along with that, at the 33,000 price or the 32,999 price, you also get 6 gigs of RAM and 128 GB storage. Mind you that you do not get the red color with that. For the red color, OnePlus is smart enough to couple colors with the higher end version. So you have the 38,000 version that you get with the red color. Leave that out. Let's talk about the base variant, which is the 6 GB, 128 GB variant. What is the other thing that makes the OnePlus 7 so desirable? Well, when you look at that 128 GB storage, that storage is the exact same UFS 3.0 storage that you get with the OnePlus 7 Pro. Now, there might be very few people out there who know how important the storage is, but let me tell you honestly that UFS 3.0 is almost as important as a Snapdragon 855 or as important as that chipset that you have inside. That storage is responsible for loading your apps. So when you open a phone, you load YouTube, you open your game, all that loading happens on the storage. So that is why if you have a better storage, a faster storage, you'll have a faster smartphone experience overall, which is why iPhones feel so fast. iPhones use NAND storage and are really fast when it comes to their read and write speeds. Now, you have UFS 3.0, you have Snapdragon 855. Apart from that, what else? You also get stereo speaker effect. That is something that you did not get with the OnePlus 60. You get that here. It looks pretty much the same compared to a OnePlus 60, but it's so much better in real life. You get such good audio out of it because of the stereo effect, and you have Dolby Atmos support on it. Now, coming to battery, you have the same 3700 mAh battery that you get with the OnePlus 60. It's 300 mAh less than the OnePlus 7 Pro. That said, I'm pretty damn sure that you can get a better battery life of the OnePlus 7. Primarily because of a smaller display, a lesser resolution, and a lesser refresh rate on the display. What that means is that if you really love your battery life and you want a longer battery life more than anything compared to the OnePlus 7 and the 7 Pro, I would say go to the OnePlus 7. That said, there's another thing that the OnePlus 7 Pro has that the 7 doesn't, and that is warp charge. So you get 30 watt fast charging, 30 watt warp charge with the OnePlus 7 Pro, but you only get a 20 watt fast charging with 7. Now, it's the same 20 watt fast charge that you got with the OnePlus 60, so you have no compromises there. That said, the OnePlus 7 Pro does come with a faster charging solution. Now, coming to cameras, you do not get the triple camera setup. You actually lose both the telephoto and the wide angle lens, but you do get the same 48 megapixel sensor the Sony sensor that they got with the OnePlus 7 Pro. So there is a big upgrade on the camera as well. On the front, you have a 16 megapixel sensor. We don't know if it's the same sensor that you get with the OnePlus 7 Pro, but you have a 16 megapixel sensor at the front. Now, with the few minutes that I had on the show floor, I took a few pictures. Here are the camera samples from the OnePlus 7. Let me know in the comment section what do you think of them. Let me know if they are worth it, and let me know if you really feel that they are a downgrade when it comes to the OnePlus 7 Pro camera. Now, we've talked about all the important things, but there's just one more thing that makes the OnePlus 7 so desirable, and that is the price. The OnePlus 60 launched at 37,999 here in India for the 6GB RAM 128GB version. The OnePlus 7 is going for 32,999. That is 5,000 rupees less than what the OnePlus 60 launched at. And apart from that, another interesting thing is that the OnePlus 60, just before launch, almost 3 weeks before the launch of the OnePlus 7, was actually discounted and was going for 32,999. So basically, you get the OnePlus 7 for the heavily discounted price of the OnePlus 60, which people before the launch of the OnePlus 7 thought was such a good deal. Now, a minute of silence for the people who bought OnePlus 60s before the OnePlus 7 launch. I know a lot of people are sad that they spend so much money on the OnePlus 60, and most of them can't do nothing about it. You have a OnePlus 60, you know that you could have gotten the next version phone with so much better specs at the exact same price, but you can't do anything about it. Well, there were a lot of people who asked me as well, and I suggested most of them to wait for the OnePlus 7 and 7 Pro launch. Some of them did, some of them did not. Now, is it really their fault? Not really, because at the 32,999 price, it really felt like a very good deal. You could not get a OnePlus flagship for 33,000. Maybe last year you could, but this year you couldn't, and that's felt like such a good deal. Now, while I'm glad that OnePlus launched the OnePlus 7 at a price lower than their last phone and something that they've never done before, I'm really sad that OnePlus did this to their consumers. When you're building a brand, a lot of people, all the fans, all the people who thought that the OnePlus 60 was going for such a phenomenal price and bought that phone, are now really pissed that you have another phone. Now, I don't know how people are going to react to this, and I don't know how OnePlus is going to handle what people are going to say, because I know a lot of people bought, and we already know that OnePlus 60 was one of the most selling devices on Amazon in the premium section, and just imagine how many units they must have sold with the 5,000 rupees price cut. Now, as of now, there's no word on an exchange program from OnePlus for people who bought a 60 a month ago or 2 months ago. And I'm not expecting OnePlus to do that. But for the people who bought the OnePlus 60 maybe a day before or 2 days before the launch, I'm pretty sure they're very pissed. And I'm pretty sure that OnePlus will need to handle and answer all their questions, owe up to what they did. Let's see what happens. If something happens, we'll let you know for sure. But till then, it's what it is. You can't trade out your OnePlus 60s. And for the people who waited for the OnePlus 7 launch, go eyes closed and get the OnePlus 7, the 33,000 version. It's just a phenomenal deal. I don't think you can get a better deal right now. And with that, we come to an end of this first impressions. Let me know what you thought of this in the comment section. Let me know if you were among the ones who bought the OnePlus 60 and what do you feel. Let me know in the comment section what to do. Let's have a chat there. That's it for this one. Thank you so much for watching. This is Sreehari from Mr. Phone, and I'll catch you in the next one.